think it's a sign that those who are looking to really grow in a shrinking market in many ways have got to take on the challenge of mobile, particularly in smartphones. And the FT has been getting an increasing amount of its coverage, of its audience from mobile devices of one kind or another. And that's what everybody's got to face up to.
70% of FT readers are digital subscribers. That is a desirable number by any measure. Do you think that Nikkei would potentially take the FT digital only, or is that sort of not aligned with their strategy?
Well, Nikkei is a very heavy investor in print. Its own sort of flagship publication sells more than 3 million copies a day in Japan. So I don't think they've given up on print by any stretch of the imagination. And really, I don't think you would if you're looking at the FT's business model. It's a combination. It's a kind of gradually managed decline in print, which is sort of supported by the fact that its weekend edition has got terrific traction with luxury advertisers and really makes quite a lot of money for them.
It should be noted here, you now work at Edelman, the public relations firm. Nikkei is one of Edelman's clients, so I want to disclose that. Talk to me about how you think the FT will change, evolve under new ownership.
Well, obviously the proof of the pudding, as we say, is in the eating. We'll have to wait and see. But I think that in the short term, there will not be very much change. I've worked with Nikkei myself on their Nikkei Asian Review product last year. I was struck by how cautious they are. I think they're very, very deep thinking people when it comes to this kind of change or new ownership. But they're conservative and cautious. I think they know that everybody will be watching them to see what changes are made to the FT, whether its editorial independence, which was key to the idea of selling it as far as Pearson was concerned, is going to be protected.
What's the end game here, in your opinion?
For Nikkei, I think it's to put itself on a global stage and to show that it can publish and be credible in English, the world's global business language, you know, as well as in its native markets. It knows, like a lot of Japanese corporations of all scales and all industries, that it's got to grow internationally if it's going to keep itself strong.
The FT has been lauded by so many for being really at the forefront of putting up that paywall and being very successful in doing so. What do you think that other publications can, A, learn from that, even though now, you know, some say it may be too late for others? What do you think they can learn from it? And also, do you expect to see the same staffing, or do you expect that we'll see job cuts?
Well, again, early days. I think, I hope very much for my former colleagues that there aren't staff cuts. And actually, if you look at the way in which the Nikkei is staffed in Japan, I think its staff is probably larger than, say, the Wall Street Journal's. You asked me what I think lessons are for others. I think, you know, most people already know. If you don't have something very special to sell, it's very difficult to operate behind a paywall. The FT has got niche business information that people are prepared to pay for because they know they can make money from it. If you're the New York Times, which I should say is also a client of Edelman's, then you also have something unique, which is the sort of incredible trust that people have in that product. So you've got to have something to sell. Otherwise, you really are in that game of playing mass numbers.